Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. So we have taken our first step to some supreme industrialization. We have built a steel mill. And I think that is one of the key things that our city elders have gone next door to Novigrad to kind of figure out how we industrialize. And they've got the steel mill blueprints and they've built our first one with the help of our neighbors. And so now we are actively heading towards industrialization. Now, we're struggling a little bit with the cash, and so I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take it a little bit easy in terms of the construction. Oh, look at that. I do like the different lighting textures there. That's pretty cool. We are going to take it just a little bit easy in this episode to try and stabilize our economy. We should be able to. One of the things that we will get done is we'll get this rail connection done, and then we'll look towards buying a train that'll bring the raw resources in from the Cornoe border to here, because we do have rail connection all the way to here. Now, one of the things that I do wonder about, so hang on, let's quickly have a look at this. That should be fine, no problems over here. So we will we'll run, so we'll get a train, because at the moment we run out of coal way too quickly, and then, sewage tank is overfilling. Let's have a quick look at that. I'll pause the game. We should have water, right? We have water. Hang on. Let's just have a look. So where is our water coming from? Oh, water is being delivered. Okay, well then obviously, how can water be delivered? Let's just have a look. Do we have technical services that's delivering water? Yeah, we do. And the steel mill is in the range, so that's kind of what is happening here with delivering water. Okay, so we missed a little bit here, so we do need to actually expand. We have the correct placements here so that we can actually give ourselves water and the like. So we'll go ahead and probably put something in this little section here. I've got some other plans as well, so let's just get that quickly planned out first before we move on too much further. I'm thinking standard switches, probably not standard switches. Let's just do one of these guys so that we kind of allow for a little bit more. If we switch on our levels, there's nothing crazy about levels going on over here. So let's place our sewage over here. Let's give it a little bit of room. Get our sewage over there. Give us a sewage connector. Go underground and tie it in. No. Cancel that one for us, please. Try that again. The idea is tie it in like so. Yes, let's get going on that straight away. Then what we want is a sewage tank over here, which we will kind of squeeze in over this area. It will be sufficient. And we will tie that in. Come on. Zoom it in. There we go. Tie that in over there. Get that sorted out. We'll need to get ourselves a little bit of a pathway over here so the guys can actually get to it. Similarly with that one over there, that's fine, no problems. Now we do need to do the same thing with the water connection, so let's get our water splitter. I think that's the one we're doing, right? Yeah, that's kind of the standard approach. I'm going to squeeze that one in. Yeah, probably pretty tight like this. Should be fine. Get ourselves a little bit of a connection that runs out over this way. Should be fine. A bit of steel involved in doing that. And then we need a water substation as well. So we're just going to go... Ooh, that's a water substation. It's an interesting one that... and we can't actually get it to... Ooh, we would like both to be connected here, right? So we may have to get a little a little bit, what am I looking for? A substation. We might need to get a little bit creative, I think. If we flip that around, can we make it work over here? We can. Is that giving us a water connection? Let's just zoom it out. Yeah. If we go do that, we should be fine. So let's see if we can make that work. I did not realize it's going to be that challenging to get it to tie in. But anyway, I think this... Oh, come on. Okay, what we will do then, I'm going to go and demolish that and demolish this one. And what we'll move is we'll move the water that way so that there's room. So let's get our water switch this guy, and we'll move it up this way so there's a bit more room for it. And that should give us enough room to tie this guy in over here, and it should be a pretty straight shot all the way over there. Tie that one in. Yeah, that should be useful. I think that's okay. That'll work. Let's get upstairs here, and we'll continue the construction. At the same time, we will want to just make sure that we're pathing this guy so that we can get everything built. That should all be good. Now, all of these things I would like to super high priority it because we are in trouble, I imagine. So we want everything here to be high priority, including all of these kind of pipes. Let's just, not that there's anything else that's currently under construction, I think. So we should be able to get this built fairly quickly, but yeah, unfortunately missed that one out. There's always something you forget with this game. It's crazy how that works. So anyway, our train construction is happening over here, so the rail is coming in. At the moment, we've got some health risks. We're missing coal, and we should be operating at a lower production value anyway, due to our overflowing sewage system here. But anyway, we will fix it. Excuse me. Okay, let's get out of here. Now, what I was busy saying when we figured out there's a problem. Excuse me, a little bit under the weather still. So what I was meant to say is that I think we're going to slow it down just a tad to try and stabilize our economy a little bit. We have sufficient stuff to now, if we stop the construction a little bit, claw back, then we should be able to deal with it. We're fairly self-sufficient with a lot of things. This construction should hopefully be underway. Let's just have a look at this window. This is a big component for us. We've got everything on site, so just a few work days required to finish this off. So we should be back up and running momentarily, and then our economy will keep moving. So here we haven't actually started with the export yet. So now we've got one vehicle currently moving things around to make sure we're getting our chemicals everywhere we need to go. And I like the way we're currently setting up for distribution, so that basically we only have to deliver to a few locations to then have it move on to everywhere else. So I think when this truck comes back, it's this one, I'm pretty sure it's not going to go and do anything else. So what we can then do is we can then go ahead and deliver to the border. So I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to add the border to it. Okay. What's our closest border post? We're fairly central, but this is going to be let's just go with this one here. So let's pause it for a second. Wow, it's pretty busy over here as well. There is a mod which is not active in this game. Okay, maybe we're not going that border post. Maybe we should go the other border post. How's it look on this side? Yeah, much calmer over here. So let's pause the game, add the border post, get it in over here, and what we'll say is we will be exporting to the customs house as a lowest priority. I believe that's how it works. So what we should be doing is we should be delivering these up to 60% first, and then we'll be exporting to the border. So we'll do that for a little bit, and then we'll see how that works. So now what we should see is this guy pull out to come and get some stuff to take a nice big load of chemicals all the way to the border for export. And that's going to give us a nice 6,000 ruble bump when it gets there. So, okay. So our self-sufficiency is okay with regards to some of the bigger ticket items. These construction items are underway, so we should fix this shortly. This is low productivity, which is okay. I don't mind it too much. These are all standing around, which I would imagine means that we have filled this guy up, right, to the right number. What did we say? 70 tons of 330 is what exactly? I'm not sure. Let's just have a look. What did we say? This is exports. So exports will only go if this is over 30. Okay, that's the thing, right? So this one is going to fill it up to 70. So yeah, we still got tons of stuff that needs to go before we're going to get near that needs to fill up that side. So 70% of 330 would give us like 160, 180, about something like that, right? 180, 190, I think, almost 200. Yeah, probably about 200 tons. Yeah, probably about 200 tons of. So there's still plenty of steel that needs to make its way this way before we even start the export. And that's why I'm thinking if we put a train in place, we may be able to ease that a little bit for us. I think things are looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the month of May in terms of exports. Okay, exports, I see last month, please. So we did, no, not the US one, not the dollars. We would like to have a look at this. So we did like a little bit less clothing than usual. Fair bit of everything else. So it looks pretty good. But yeah, I think we had a slowdown on the fabrics, and that might be why our clothing went down. We didn't have any chemicals or anything like that went out just yet. So if we go back and we look at the imports, looking pretty good. Still a chemical import here, but a much reduced number. So hopefully we will see that slowly drop down. Now you can see coal is becoming a big number here. A lot of tons of coal that we bought, but I think that's okay because ultimately our steel imports have completely gone away, and you can see our recovery is looking pretty good. We should reach the 100,000 fairly soon, which should put us in the position to start looking at a train, I think. If we wanted to purchase a train, we want a diesel locomotive, something really cheap. So the cheapest one we can get is something like this guy here. Okay, so that's not going to quite, we're going to need more than 100,000. And then what we want to do is we want some cargo wagons. So the cargo wagons we'll be looking at would be not the open wagon, the hoppers. Okay, so we'll need to grab at least, say, 4 or 5 of them, and then one open wagon to allow us to take steel back. And I think that's kind of the plan. We're going to put one train in place that brings in both coal and iron, and then takes back one wagon of steel, and to try and see if we can't move things a little quicker. Now, one of the things is we've got no signals or anything on here. With one train in operation, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So I think that's one of the options we have, is just put one train in operation to go back and forward, because it's easier to keep track building going if we don't have signals in place. So the idea is that we want to electrify this and everything before we actually get signals going. Before we get signals going, let's just have a look at this. Yeah, that's the one I would expect. Look at our money. Our money is looking really healthy at the moment. I'm very keen to look at June, at the end of June, how that's going to look. We should be making reasonable amounts of money here through clothing production, food production, and we're selling alcohol, and it's going to be a while before we actually sell steel, just because we want a fairly big number there. So some of the things that I'm looking at doing now is maybe planning out a construction area. I'm not quite keen on putting it over here because it's overlapping with the other guy. So really what I'm keen on doing is maybe putting construction area somewhere over here, or even further afield somewhere over here. All of these roads are built. Our road builders are enormously quick at doing these things. So I'm pretty keen on that. I think we can pretty comfortably start the upgrade over here and get the team to start moving on that. So I think that means we can That's the road construction. So let's just assign them to come over here and do that road construction, and then we'll see how we do it. I think we're probably going to loop this guy back in this direction to get another interchange somewhere over here, but noting that, yeah, it's a little bit challenging. So the interchange needs to pop in. Actually, we might be able to kind of integrate it a little bit with the hill here. So that's something we can have a look at. We will want to integrate the rail as well. So just looking at this, we would want the rail to go over the top. So maybe the interchange needs to go in here somewhere, and then the rail can go over the top to kind of join the rail that's coming along the outside over here. I think that's kind of the plan. Get rid of all of these things. Yeah, I think that's kind of the plan. The other thing that I was wondering, so yeah, maybe a construction area somewhere over here. Yeah, so we can quite easily get access to the construction materials that will be located over here. One thing that we'll probably need to start looking at then as well is another gravel area and concrete and the likes, but I don't think we're going to get started with that just yet. I think we've probably got sufficient, we have sufficient, I think we've got sufficient gravel and the likes going for the time being. But what I also thought is with the coal over here, we could put a brick factory in place somewhere over here as well. Potentially even on this side, considering we've got this guy moving through here, maybe we could do brick factory. Well, alternatively, we could do the, let's just have a look. If we go to rail, no, it's probably over here, right? We want rail distribution. Rail distribution, train distribution offers the large, I want the large one, right? The big one. Is that what? What is this? This is the big one. We could easily squeeze it in here. Easily. We could basically even put it in right over here. And the only thing that we'll need to do then is we'll need to have it go the other way as well, I think. Which shouldn't be too difficult to achieve. So something like this could easily fit in here as a bit of a rail distribution for this area. And then we could use this side, which will have, we will probably need to bring in coal over here. So maybe we'll do the brick factory in this area. Brick factory isn't large, but a brick factory would be useful. And we would probably want to be able to pick up bricks by train as well. Money is stable at best, I think. Can we still have health risks and things going on over here. We're still missing out on the coal. I would love us to just kind of finish off all of these things. Lots of construction underway. Is our water running? Our water should be close to running. Once we get a few more loads in here. That's done. Okay, so we're actually pretty close. We've just got the substations left, and then that should work. Is this under construction? No, not at the moment, right? So this guy finished off its construction and it's not doing the rest of that. So let's quickly get it to come and do the rest of it. Yeah, nothing is currently being assigned. So let's get those two in place so it can start moving on that. We can probably do the rest of this as well. But for the time being, that's all that we're gonna need. Yeah, this should work quite well. This is not something that we really want to. We'll have a look. We'll have to see once we get things going. We'll have to have a look at how some of this stuff works. Okay, so that's pretty good. Our money is holding, but yeah, it's not. We're not really getting. I want to see at the end of June what we've got going for ourselves here. Everybody is fairly happy. Happiness is kind of growing. Our unemployment is not too high, actually. And our population is still growing steadily. We could start looking at some additional items in here. What does our unemployment look like over here? Very low, very low. So the, which is interesting because we've dropped this number quite significantly, actually. That is interesting. Let's quickly have a look at what our steel numbers look like at the moment. It's not growing, guys. We're using the steel as quickly as we're producing it, which at least means that we're not importing much. Yeah, almost back up to 100k here. I am quite tempted to make a start on the construction of these two items, just because they're not going to cost us anything in steel, and we can use some of those things. So let's actually recommence the construction. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Recommence the construction of these two so we can get this moving. And then we can start the construction of this as well once the guys... Oh, actually, I didn't stop it. So we can start the construction of all of this. I wouldn't mind getting these bridges in place, because when we actually need them, we will want them to be built like in no time. So I'd rather just get them built, because they're not costing us any steel. I think it's fine to do it that way. Okay. We could probably build this section as well, right? Yeah, let's just get all of this built. Well, we don't necessarily need that, but I'd rather get some of these things built, because when we need them, you end up with some issues quickly. Okay, so we should not have overflowing stuff anymore, so that's good. We are struggling to get the coal numbers in here. So let's have a look. Can we? What does our numbers look like over here? I could buy a couple more of these. I could buy 3 more of them to make it move a little quicker, but I'm not sure that's really useful. I should rather save the money to get us to a point where we can actually buy the train and start running the train. The train could already be an option for us, and I think we might take the plunge. So if I were to sell these, right? So if I were to sell this, what will I get? It costs me money. So we're not selling them. Yeah, unfortunately, it costs me money to scrap these vehicles. So that's unfortunate. Can't sell them. Well, not as simple as selling them. So we've got a reasonable amount of money. 100,000 now. Not enough for a train, but let's quickly have a look. If we look at last month, we had... Ooh, look at those chemical exports. Guys, look at that. But the clothing dropped tremendously. Why is that? We'll have to have a look at what's going on with that. Are we using more workers here than at clothing? That's probably some of the issues with it. And if we look at the imports, what? Okay. Who is importing chemicals and why, is my question. I honestly don't want to keep importing chemicals, so that's the issue really here. I need to just have a look at our chemical imports just for a minute. And firstly, let's just have a look at this. This is moving reasonably well. We should be moving quite okay with this. We're just not... Oh, we're run out of crops really quickly here, right? So who's actually bringing in crops? Crop imports is this guy. What's going on over here? Ooh. Is the repair vehicle... I think the repair vehicle is on the way to come and repair it, right? Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. Repair in progress. I like it. I like it. So that's kind of why this is dipped down a little bit. These vehicles that we have over here, right? Yeah, I'm not sure we should buy new ones, but they hold 10 tons of crops and they're pretty slow. We could buy new vehicles, right? If we were to go these guys, 10 tons of crops and they're quicker, but I don't know if that's necessarily what we want to be doing here. If anything, we might do an extra office, really. I think we need to... Yeah, we run out of coal so quickly in this area that I think what we need to do is we need to take out a slightly increased loan. Oh, actually, let's have a quick look. What was our last month? Our loan interest is so low, guys. Really, it's not a big deal. Just double check all of these things. Yeah, so our loan interest... Can't actually click into it to see what's happening with that, right? But Loans balance. Oh, okay. So the loan in total is taking out about 5,000 rubles. So that's the loan balance and the loan interest. Yeah. So the loan is 5,000. So we need to be a little bit cautious about that. But I'm thinking we're gonna expand our loan a little bit. I think let's just go. Yeah, and I thought I was thinking about this. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to go and do that number, and I'll do. Let's go 1 million. So we'll borrow 1 million. Then we will. Can we just return everything, please? We just do that, right? Return money. Yeah, good. Okay, fine. We'll get that one out of the way. We'll return the money over here as well. Okay, so now we've got 1 million. I want to get a train going, and hopefully that's not going to be the end of the world for us. So a train should be able to make this move a lot quicker. With no other construction on here, I think we should be fine. So let's go ahead and get ourselves a diesel locomotive, a cheap one. They are getting pretty pricey. There's nothing. Oh, there's a little cheap one over here, but that's super slow. I'm definitely not gonna do that. Maybe for short shunting movements that could be okay. I'm rather gonna go with these guys at 100 kilometers an hour. That seems to be a reasonable one. We're gonna go with cargo wagons, and we want to get a couple of open hoppers. 1, 2, 3. That's 150 tons. 4, 5. I think that should be okay. 250 tons. Let's quickly go back and have a look at our ratio. Our ratio is almost 2 to 1. So we need double the amount. So if we do 6 wagons, we'll do 4 of coal. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 6 wagons. So let's buy 1 more cargo wagon over here, please. 1 more open hopper. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that. Okay, then we'll have 6. So 4 of them. Okay, and then 1 open wagon. The only 79. What is the... I think they've got max speeds and things like. This is 17 tons. 20 tons. 22 tons. 23 tons. I'm just going to grab the cheapest one over here. Let's do that. So this is going to be our coal, our steel train. So I'm going to grab this train and I'm going to say, buddy, you're going to... Oh, hang on. Before we go in there, I think we can individually arrange the wagon. So advanced setup, right? So this one will be 2 iron ore. No, not ore, iron. 2 iron. 1. Hang on. 1. 2, 3 will be coal. Oh, hang on. I'm missing this out. So we'll do that one. Carry this resource. Do the next one. Carry this resource. Do the next one. Carry that resource. Carry that resource. Carry that resource. Carry that resource. And carry this resource. So that is the train, right? Now... we will... Oh, it's the same train. So now we'll say, buddy, pop in over here and load up on whatever, right? It's... load up on... No, not whatever. Coal and iron. Not iron ore, iron. Coal and iron, okay? You're going to come this way, right? You're going to unload and load. You're going to unload coal and iron, right? And you are going to load... steel, right? And then back at the border post, you're going to unload steel. That should be okay. It's not an efficient rail setup. Let's just double check this again. So at the border post, you're going to load up on coal and iron, and you're going to unload steel. Here, you're going to unload coal and iron, and we're going to wait until unloaded. Yes. And you're going to load up steel. We're not going to wait until loaded because that's going to never fill up. We'll just load whatever. And I think that should be okay. Let us make a start. I want to quickly double check our activities here. Get our train to come out. Okay, so it can run because there's no other trains on it, so there's no signals or anything. I think it's going to go and fill up on diesel first, or fuel at least. I believe that's what's happening here. Yep, absolutely. Filling up on the fuel. And now I think it should be sufficient to keep running, basically. Yeah, so it's got its full setup ready to go here. Got a building burning. Let's have a look. That should be okay. Just want to check our train, actually. This is going to be costly, but I think not super costly. We should definitely have enough money to do that. Now, I do want us to sort out our numbers here. Once we do this, we can maybe stop the trucks. We'll have to see. But one train should be massively good enough, I think, for the time being. The one issue we have with the train is we don't actually have an end station. So we won't really be able to fix it, I think. Unless we just go and park it back at its home spot. Look at that. It's really cheap to import these items. Really cheap. So I'm not super worried about this. Keep loading, buddy. Keep loading. Wow, it's taking its sweet time to load. Really slow to load this thing up. But I'm actually quite keen on actually making a run with the train. So once it turns around, we're going to make a bit of a run with it and see how it goes. Still 25 more tons. Hopefully we're... Okay, that's obviously the cost of buying a train. It's really super expensive. And our imports is running up high. Our exports is reasonable. And it's still... Oh, it's only the end of the month now. So yeah, that was a costly month for us. Yeah, so $250 to get the train to work. We really needed that extra loan. But I think we'll be fine. There we go. Now we're going to turn around. I'm pretty keen to take a ride with our train here. So guys, enjoy the ride. Do wonder if we're going to stick to the right. We are sticking to the right, even without any signals. So that's cool. We've got our first train on the tracks. I love it. This is a real sign of industrialization. Happy that we built all of this ready to go. Keen to see the ride through this area here. Through the hills. Well, not really through the hills. We've got a bit of a bridge coming up here. I think it's reasonable. Slows us down just a little bit. Over the top here, nice and clear of the wires. Yes, there's the steel mill. Not too far to travel. Running through the cargo station here. Oh, nighttime. We're going to arrive here at the steel mill. Excellent. Good stuff. This will take a little bit of time, I think. Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time. So now we're fully loaded up here. So that's awesome. I love this idea. So now we should be able to load up on steel. I'm quite fine with it. So it's going to kind of drop off whatever it's got, and then the rest will effectively be ready to go for stocking up our own supply here. Oh, reasonable. What's that sell? Yeah, so that should kind of offset the imports. So there we go. 10 tons of steel is going back. So that's fine, actually. So I think that should almost offset the import. All right? I think so. Pretty keen to see how that works when we get there. I like it. Love running this train. That's going to, help us out a lot. Love this infrastructure. I do overdo it with the infrastructure all the time, but I do like it. It's so cool to kind of build it naturally with this game. Running through there, slow it down, buddies. There's a train running. So this section of the path won't be too busy. Let's have a look. Our fuel is not even close to being done, so it can do multiple trips with a single load of fuel. So it won't be stopping for fuel all the time. I'm very keen to see us do the export here. It's not a lot of steel that's being exported. And hopefully now, in this meantime, it's the other distribution office is busy doing it. I just don't want the train to run this way without the steel, basically. So now it's going to drop off the steel. And is it dropping off the steel? It should be dropping off the steel, right? Can I just see it? It is definitely unloading the steel. I'm assuming it's doing it based on whatever is in there first. Let's keep an eye on it. So it was about 5,000 rubles worth of steel, and I think these guys end up being about 5,000 rubles as well, or maybe just over. So we should be able to kind of somewhat offset it. Yeah, this is definitely going to help us a lot, moving this stuff by train instead of by truck. I think this will keep us going for quite a while. I think this is a good move. I'm just very keen on seeing what these numbers end up looking like. Okay, so it's still loading there. Oh, it did unload the steel. Okay. It did end up unloading the steel. Okay, good stuff. That is good stuff. Okay, so this is working. Yeah, so let's just see. So it's about, is it 7,000? It'll be about 8,000, I think. Rubles worth of stuff. So I think that's just going to be fine. Cool to see that we've already made 272,000 US dollars or dollars via tourism industry. So that is pretty cool. And what I'm keen on understanding is how, if we should have cleaned this out already. Yeah. So we clean it out already. So, and there's already a bunch of steel ready to go. And I'm assuming we're still getting the trucks to come in. We may as well drop our resourcing even more. Let's go to 30, I think. See how that works for us. But obviously a very low steel production at the moment. Yeah, but we're waiting for that train to do its thing. So not quite what I would have had in mind with regards to getting our exports moving a little bit more. So potentially we shouldn't be running the steel. We should be building mechanical components from it or something. So I was hoping we could stabilize this a little bit more. I'm not too keen on what we're seeing just yet. I'm not too keen on what we're seeing. Got new wagon types, clear out all of these messages. We should be doing, hang on, a bit of research as well. We pop it in here. What is that? Television station setup, bauxite, advanced engineering, semiconductors. I'm not even sure what all of these things does, to be honest. But what we should be doing is let's look at waste separation. That's something that we'll start looking at in the not too distant future. We've got the train over here, busy doing its thing. And I'm guessing it's loaded up. Oh, no. So we have got a truckload that's gone out. So this guy is going to have much less steel going in now, I would imagine. There is steel ready to be loaded. Yeah, slowly getting everything done. Yeah, we do need to get a better setup going on here at some point. But I think for the time being, it's probably working reasonably well. Yeah, we've got a reasonable amount of steel ready to go here that we will export. I think we're kind of holding on. Wouldn't mind seeing the end of August. We're doing a lot of imports. End of August will be interesting numbers, I think. And there's probably still chemicals in there, I think. What's happening over here? This should be fine. That's not really a super important building for us. Mainly an export. Okay, so what did we end up picking up here? 1.8 tons only? That's interesting. That is super interesting. Creating steel. So anyway, that's not a big number for us there. End of August is going to be telling for us. I don't understand why our imports are so high. It really shouldn't be. But I'm going to wait till the end of August to understand. I think we would have offset a lot of stuff. Where are all of my trucks? They're all stuck here, I guess. No, not really. Everything is moving. End of August is the key number for us. I want to see where we end up with. Obviously, the imports of these ores are... It's not that much, though. It's like 7,000-8,000, so it's really not that much compared to what it's saving us with regards to steel. How's this going? Oh, this is looking good. I think once we get this to a reasonable number, and it's probably about as high as it needs to go, I might be able to... that guy's busy loading up to go even further. I think we might drop this down to like maybe 60%. See how that goes. So that we can start exporting a little bit more. Look at those imports, guys. It's just crazy. I need to get a handle on what's happening with these imports. We can't seem to catch up with it. So something is not quite right. So I'm going to get to the end of August. We're going to have a look at what it is, and then we're going to see if there's anything else we can do to sort that out. We are exporting chemicals already, right? So that should be just fine. It costs us very little to produce it, only about people. All of these things are kind of running almost at full speed. So really, we should be exporting a lot more than we're exporting at the moment, I think. Yeah, 8,000 maybe. Oh, maybe a little bit more actually. But that's still okay. I just want to see. I mean, 120,000 in imports and 110,000 in exports. You know, I would have expected a little bit less in the import category. That export number is very good. I don't mind that number, and it's going to get better as we get more steel moving to exports. So I think that's fine. But I am a little bit concerned about that import number. We really need to get that moving a little bit. That's very high. I'm very keen to see what that is. But it's the same as July, though. So July had the same number. So that seems to be a bit of a consistent number. I just want to see what it is that is resulting in this. Yeah, it's very consistent month to month in terms of the imports, at least. Wow. Can it be closer? Can it be closer? It's going to be almost exactly the same. Like a couple of 100 rubles more. Okay, maybe 1,000. But still, there we go. Not even 1,000 more. Okay, let's have a look at that. So if we go to last month, imports. Imports is killing me. Okay, that's a big one. That doesn't happen every month, I think. Actually. We do that. Yeah, it seems to be happening every month, though. Okay, so anyway, chemicals, still 11 tons of chemicals being imported, which is the big number that I don't like. The others I don't mind. None of the others I mind. It's just this chemical number that we need to get a bit of a grip on. So where is our chemical imports coming from? What is this? That's okay. I don't mind that too much. Let's clear this one out. Okay, where is our chemical imports coming from? So I'm guessing chemicals are coming in here. Okay, so that's one. Where do these chemicals come from? Small distribution office, local distribution. So Cornoe Harbor. So what is this guy doing? It's loading from the customs house and it's unloading. So, where's this Cornoe Hills warehouse? And what is it bringing in? It's bringing in... Is it bringing in crops? It's not bringing in crops, right? I am thinking because this is getting straight from the border post. So maybe what we do is we drop that to 10%, right? To just see that we're getting a bit less. It's a low number, really. So we should be able to manage it from the other side. Okay, now let's we've got chemicals over here as well. And that is coming in from the Cornoe clothing distribution only. All right, so we're not seeing chemicals. What? Oh, yeah. So that's bringing in clothing, right? So nothing else is bringing chemicals this way, right? Oh, no, it's over here. There it is. Border imports. This is the one, right? This one is bringing in... so we don't want... We're bringing in a ton of stuff, but we shouldn't be... So let's drop this one down to, say, 10%. And what we need to check is, we are delivering from over here, right? We're delivering to road cargo and industrial road cargo station, and that should be upping our numbers there. So that should be bringing in our chemicals. Okay, these guys aren't getting chemicals from elsewhere, right? So Atomic, local distribution, and that should be fine. That's not an issue. This guy is same thing, I think. Yes, absolutely. So maybe that's going to resolve it a little bit. Anybody else getting directly from the border? Corner Harbor, local distribution, and I'm guessing this is the same thing, local distribution. Okay, so now this guy is getting from... Actually, this guy is getting from... Cornoe Hills chemical distribution, Corner Harbor local distribution, and Cornoe medium border distribution office is bringing to our cargo. Let's just get it, our cargo. This one, and let's just drop that down to, say, maybe 20% or so. We don't want this one to necessarily run out, but let's just do that. I think that might help us out a little bit, and hopefully we're going to see this number getting a little bit more reasonable in the month of September. But I think that's kind of almost going to be where we end this episode. Let's have a quick look at what our steel supply looks like over here. We have got it, we're currently unloading over here, so almost at the 60% mark. I think 50% is just fine. I'm going to drop this down to even 50%. Because I think that's going to be a very reasonable number. And then this one can continue to build stuff, and we're going to start seeing more and more exports, probably just via the train, to be honest. But if we got a bigger number going out, that's going to be reasonable. And if we can keep this thing running until the train comes back, that would be awesome as well. Yeah, here it comes. So it's it's almost now. So I think that's the right amount of workers that we've got going for this area now. We don't need any more. So obviously overrunning buses. Actually, we're not even going to run out by the time the train gets here, which I love. And we're seeing some serious steel numbers here now. So I think maybe we're going to be able to reasonably manage it now. I might keep it running until the end of September to see if we've managed to fix it. I do want to see a much reduced... Well, actually, we're halfway through and we're still running some big numbers here. I mean, if we double what we have now, we end up with about the same number that we had. Yeah, we didn't even run out. So this steel mill is now operating continuously, but obviously at a very low rate of utilization. And it's loaded up, and it's still loading up a fair bits of steel here. So keep loading. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's going to be a very good number. Is it continues to loading, or it stopped now? It might have stopped now. Yeah, I don't think it's loading. So it basically loads until whatever is left there is out, and then as it starts building. Oh, okay. Oh, that's not the end of the world, but we should see guys arriving soon. Yeah, that's going to be just fine. What's this looking like? Our exports seem to be going quite well now. Our unemployment is starting to creep up. Our population has probably got a lot of people living at home. And our happiness is very good. So I'm kind of comfortable with it, but I'm just worried. We'll see at the end of September to see if there's anything else that we should be looking at moving around. Now, we would have built a road here. So let's see if we grab this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So what I might do is I might just see about grabbing a road connection and running it kind of parallel with the track there. I don't mind it having a little bit of a little bit of room, and then actually let's trim that back a little bit so we can start making the turn a little earlier to get to what'll be our interchange. Let's take it up to about there, and then we'll deal with what that looks like in terms of interchange. And I'm pretty keen on just kind of tying this up here with like a crossing like that. So let's get moving on all of those. And I'll go ahead and assign some construction vehicles to this, so they can come and do the construction. We will need to plan out what so while we're waiting for the end of September, let's start looking at what this interchange will look like. So this is our road. Is that our road connection there? Let's just get this back in there. Okay, so that's our double road connection. So one of the things we're going to need to do is let's move our road vehicle depots a little bit closer. So let me demolish that guy, and what I'll do is I'll also clean out that connection there, and what we'll do is we'll get this this free road depot and we'll move it in nice and close over here. We'll do that, and then we'll move these guys closer, got them parked up over here. So let's just grab them and say change place of work. We'll send them all the way this way so we can do a little bit of terraforming with them. Now we may want to run, well, these guys can turn around and go back, so we don't necessarily need to go nuts, but what we wanted to do is run this thing across here. So we'll have to see. The research program has finished, so let's clear that out and start another piece. Lots of lines and things there. What's this number looking like? Ooh, end of September is gonna be pretty, I think. Looking really good. I like that. That's looking much better. Let's continue our waste research over here. Keep going on that stuff. Our money is now holding a little bit. I also want to see, obviously a lot more money is going towards servicing our loan. Okay, so these guys are coming in. Let's switch this. Oh, it's the wrong one. Let's do this. And we'll start our journey off over here. If we were to tie this guy in, but we need some kind of interchange as well here, right? Anyway, we need some stuff to come in here. I'm guessing we need this to give us our flat section through here. I just want to get whatever this is built. So we'll need some form of interchange, presumably even over here, so it's not quite in the hill. And then this guy, I think the problem with that guy, though, is going to ramp up a little bit too quickly. So I'm not sure what our options are here. We're waiting on these guys to arrive. Are they filling up with fuel first? I'm guessing that's what's happening. End of September? Okay, yeah, so we won't finish off any of that. Let's clear this out. Let's quickly have a look. That looked pretty good. Let's go in here, go to last month and have a look. So our exports are good, but our clothing exports are dropping, but I'm loving the chemical exports and a reasonable steel export. So that is looking healthy. That is looking really healthy. Now, if we go to the imports, we still have the chemical imports. So where does that come from? The others are all good. I'm no problem with the others. I just don't understand why we've got the chemical imports. Who's importing chemicals? I honestly, this is the thing that I just need to understand. So who is importing chemicals? We can keep running the game so we can start to recover from these numbers. But who's importing chemicals and from where? So is there a way I can have a look at our... None of that. Any lines? None of these lines will be doing chemicals. It's all going to be distributions. So I'm not in a way going to understand this. If I look here, I think we can get who's coming here, right? Oh, we can't. That's not good. All resources delivered to this border will be sold in rubles. That's fine. Small amount of tourists due to low trip rating. Yeah, that's okay. No problems with that. But who's importing chemicals? Drop that. Vehicle repair station's not getting chemicals. This one is not getting chemicals. This one's not getting chemicals. This one is not getting chemicals. So really, don't want that. But it should be... It might be that one bringing in chemicals. Are we running out of chemicals a little quickly? I don't think so, though. It might be... Yeah, just our number is a little... We shouldn't be importing chemicals, right? So that one should be okay. Then if we go to this guy, it's only got two vehicles that can... No, it's only got one vehicle that can actually bring in chemicals. But it's like... And then there will be a couple of loads actually coming in. Is there anybody here doing chemical imports? This is local distribution, so it should not be bringing anything from the border. That's fine. The local distribution is fine, but it's not getting it from the border. Wish I knew who was getting what from the border. This guy is getting it there. Oh, is it maybe this guy? Is this guy bringing in chemicals, right? It's coming... Cornoe clothing warehouse. It's not. It's actually exporting. And this is clothing imports. So it's only bringing in crops. Right, and this one is... this one is actually bringing in crops as well. But it could also be bringing in chemicals, right? Yeah, this could be bringing in chemicals. So what I don't want... Is this the crop warehouse? No. This is the crop warehouse. So this one could be bringing in chemicals. So let's just, instead of doing that, let's just say, bring in crops, right? Stop doing it. Because that might be why we're seeing chemicals come in here. And this guy is... bringing there and there, only the Cornoe Hills, and it's only doing crops. So hopefully that might resolve it a little bit, but we definitely need to do less there, right? We should be getting all of our chemicals locally. And let's just see, are we holding on with this? Yeah, this is going to be just fine. This guy is moving to some kind of place. So that should be okay. I'm just hoping that that actually sorts it out for us. Guys, thank you so much for watching. That's going to be the end of this episode. I will see you in the next one where we will hopefully continue to strengthen our financial position and then slowly start to build out a little bit more. Maybe use some of our steel a little bit more effectively than actually just exporting it. Maybe that's something that we're going to look into. Maybe we're going to go ahead and grab not electrical components, but mechanical components. Maybe mechanical components is going to be a big ticket item for us. That's going to really help get that going there. Oh, one more thing I wanted to quickly check. Let's just pause it, go to last month. Yeah, so now we can see that it's actually costing us about 20,000 in terms of loan management. So I would love to get this number a little bit lower per month, because now that is a reasonable amount of money that we're losing due to the loan. But I think we're managing it. We're managing it. I mean, October is looking pretty healthy already. So that's good. I think we will continue on that journey. Let's clear out some of these messages. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit that like button. Leave some comments down below. What are you thinking about our setup? What should we be doing next to sort out our import costs? And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.